Everyone go ahead and mute if you can't control yourself. Otherwise, we'll get started here momentarily. Hyper, when you're good to go, we'll start.
Uh, um,
Okay. So, welcome to the first community meeting of the year. It's January 2nd, 2017. And so far, Squad Ops has been running for about, I'd say, 6 months. Um, so we've been here for a while. There are a couple big changes coming with 2017, and we're going to get right to it. So first off, the itinerary for tonight is pretty short, but there are a couple big announcements. We'll go over our new basic requirement announcement. We'll be going over what SOTT has planned for this and next month. We have our new op that we're running this Saturday. We have a small website redesign that's going to be coming along shortly. Um, we're going to remind everyone to connect their bot or their Discord to the website account. And then we'll talk about whitelist lockdown. And then after that, if you guys have any questions regarding anything Squad Ops related, we'll definitely get to those and you guys can ask them and I'll respond and hopefully get those questions answered. All right, so first things first. The first biggest announcement is our basic required now. So from here on out, every single operation that Squad Ops hosts, with the exception of the first open event the first Wednesday event of every month, is going to be basic required. What that means is you need to pass your basic SOTT cert to play in any operation other than the first Wednesday operation. We're still holding basic SOTTs essentially every first and third Thursday of the month. So there's plenty of opportunities to get your basic cert, but we're at a point and size at this stage where we can essentially start taking full-on basic required ops, and we're still going to keep that first open Wednesday op and that non-basic required op, just so people can really get their feet wet if they want to see if they want to play in squad ops. But for the majority of our ops, pretty much all of them, except for that one, are going to be basic required. SOTT has a couple new things planned this month. We're rolling out SOTT vehicles. And so that's Squad Ops Tactics and Training Vehicle course. Once again, courses are aimed at being under an hour. And this course will basically create a standard within Squad Ops for the utilization and operation of any and all vehicles currently in the game, from driving to gunning and certain tactics like that, or certain coordination between the two, and just basic SOPs and standards that we're gonna start wanting to see, simply because utilization of vehicles within operations is pretty important, and we want to make sure that you are somewhat qualified to be driving because some funny stuff happens sometimes. So once again, that's optional. The only mandatory uh, training that we ever have is the basic. Um, and you can take any of these courses in any order as of right now. Yeah, so that's what SOTT has planned. Some really big things. We're working on leadership next. I know everyone's asking, when's leadership coming out? When's leadership coming out? We got Squad Ops leadership coming next month, hopefully, and we can start rolling out those squad leader and fire team leader qualifications. We'll probably still be taking regulars only first, simply because squad leaders need to be on the same page as everyone else, and regulars are those who, kind of have been with us for a while and understand the ethos and mindset of squad ops squad leaders. But yeah, moving on to the website redesign, we have some really nice both functional and aesthetic changes coming to the website within the next month or two. There are going to be pretty big improvements, and so when that gets rolled out, if you find any bugs, we ask that you report them either to Barton or myself, so that we can use your help to get everything working. Though it should be pretty much fully functional on release, there are no doubt going to be bugs as always. Yeah. Moving on to our bot, or Discord and website integration. So over the last month, you might have seen some small release of that happening, some small push on that. Essentially, what happened was we found a way to link both the website and the Discord. So from now on, whenever you register on the website, you'll get pinged immediately on the Discord. And that's pretty much going to be used for a lot of things, both maintaining your rank on the website and on the Discord simultaneously, as well as allowing us to auto roll call which is going to cut down the setup time significantly. For example, if you're registered and you're in Discord, the bot will automatically call you into the live operation channel. So we ask that you please link it. It takes like 2 seconds. It's in the announcement channel with steps if you need to. It's pretty simple. You just click one thing and then send it over to the bot, and then your accounts are linked. Go ahead, Barton.
Hold off on that for like 1 minute.
Okay. So there might be some technical difficulties right now that you're getting banged out here really fast. And then mod updates. So mod dev is still working. We still have a couple months until mod release or mod functionality is supported by Squad, but we are pretty much on track to have our mod done. I'm pretty much ready to go for initial testing as soon as the support is there. So once that's there, we're probably going to reach out to our regulars and to our community to help us bang out all those bugs and get the balance there down. And then we'll pretty much have the first Hardcore Squad mod out there. And that'll be a lot of fun, and I think it'll be great for the community. Talking about kind of our public side and our servers, we're going to be talking about the whitelist now. So previously, everyone asked, like, what's the whitelist? What's the whitelist? The whitelist is essentially, as of right now, a server where our community members, people who have registered on our forums, can get in pretty much hassle-free. There's almost always a slot for our community members on that site or on that server, simply because of the way we have the website linked up to our config files and the way we have, it's just a place that where we can have our community play without them dealing with, having to wait or dealing with another community. So that's the core of it. However, we are bringing back whitelist lock. And what that is on Sundays session one time. On Sundays session one time, we will lock down the server to only our community members. So you don't have to deal with any pubs. It's going to be full-on Squad Ops community members. So you don't have to deal with the randomness or the no mic squad leaders or the complete, just absolute chaos that ensues in public servers. Every Sunday, we'll lock it down for our community members. And that'll be a place where you can kind of get in on less stressful games and more tactical play. This is going to be a test. We tried this a little while back. We didn't really have the numbers. I think we feel confident now that we can fill the server on Sunday. We'll see. We'll change things as they go, and we will reassess. But as of right now, that is the plan for the whitelist server. So we'll lock it down on Sundays. If it does well, we'll lock it down more days. If it does poorly, we'll lock it down fewer hours, and we'll set an event time for it. But as of right now, that's the plan with the whitelist. So we're slowly trying to transition it to a actual legit whitelist server, but we're just slowly trying to do that, and that is the goal for that server overall, like with time, is to completely lock it down to only registered users. So that's going to be happening this Sunday. You'll see it happening this Sunday. As far as our regular program, we're still keeping our eye out for people who do show activity. Once again, to become a regular, you need to show activity in 3 areas: on public, in private, and on Discord. So public servers, private servers, Discord. That's pretty much how you get to be a regular. Just stick around, be mature, be polite, just be regular. Pretty much goes without saying, but and we'll get around to you. Sometimes it does take a little longer than others. Other reasons and so on and so forth. But regulars have been a huge help to us. We want to thank all the regulars for helping us out when we need extra SLs and stuff like that. So especially in tie with the holidays, we want to say thank you to all those regulars and to all the staff that put in their volunteer hours. Because as of right now, Squad Ops is an entirely volunteer project, even with the size that we've grown to. These are all volunteer hours by the community for the community. And it's a great thing. I think it's great. We've grown a lot. We've built a lot, and we're continuing to grow even further. So at this point, I'm going to ask if there are anything that you would like. Is there anything that you would like to ask Squad Ops staff or myself, Squad Ops related or squad related questions, and go ahead and type them out in general chat. Type them out. Don't comment.
While you guys are typing them out in general, the Discord linking is good to go now. I just had to push a quick fix for something. So you can see instructions for that in the announcements before. It's super simple process. You click a button on the forums, and then you paste something to the bot in Discord, and then boom, it's done. Like, it takes 3 seconds.
Solid. Okay, Puppy Skills asks, would you be open to, and is there any necessity for can host the in between weeks for basic? We do have some instructors that are looking to. Oh, so we'll go over staff apps real fast. So currently, we're closed on admins for public server admins. We are not taking any more public server admin applications. However, we are taking applications for SOTT instructors, and if you have any advanced technical skills, we're not really looking to teach those technical skills. So if you're looking to like kind of intern, we're not really taking any of those right now. But if you do have existing technical skills, whether it be with modding or with web dev or with anything else that we're looking for, we're still open for there. But as far as public admins or admin in general, we're pretty much closed for now. That being said, it's up to the instructors really if they want to run impromptu sessions. We're always going to have one SOTT session a week, one for EU and one for NA session. But if the instructors do want to take it upon themselves to host an impromptu session, they'll do it at their discretion. It's not really my place to tell them if they should or should not do an impromptu session. Okay, Kawhi asks, will the new SOTTs ever be hosted on the weekends? As of right now, it stands that our Thursdays. That does bring up a very good point, though, that our SOTTs, that someone might not be able to ever be available for Thursdays. So maybe we might change up a single session for the weekends or something like that. That is a very good point, and we'll let me actually write that down before I forget. But yeah, hold on one second. That's a very good point. Okay, Biff asks what the scoop is with the server health. So here's the funky thing. Server health takes a hit once the server's been at 80 players and you're about halfway through the match. Now, the weird thing is when we look at it server side through Blue Fang, it doesn't look like it's a servers. I think there's something wrong with Squad itself. We are in contact with our provider, and there is a dialogue there to kind of figure out what happened. I will reach out to OWI and see if they have any known issues or they have any known fixes. But as of right now, we don't really know what's going on, but we are looking into it. Keel Rander asks, will the whitelist lockdown have NA and EU times? Yeah, so essentially whitelist lockdown starts at Sunday, session 1, and will run all the way from session 1 on Sunday through session 2 till whenever it dies, and then we'll open that up again to the public. Whenever it dies, we'll revert it back to its reserved slot status. Any other questions regarding modding, regarding feature, regarding squad ops? Anything squad ops related.
Really?
What?
Sorry, nothing.
Okay. Chechno asks, is it going to be like new maps and weapons with the mod? Currently, none of our mod guys are really working on any new assets or weapons or vehicles or anything like that. Our main job is to tweak the settings and the general balance of the game so that it feels more hardcore, whether that be removing UI elements, adding certain tools in and stuff of that nature. However, we will be looking at using community maps to put ops on. So we'll pull from the community mod map pool from then. As far as new weapons, I don't think we're going to be doing that. We are going to have an SOTT map, a custom SOTT map, so that we don't need to use Jensen's range and we can have it tailor-made, and it's pretty much good to go once we get that rolled out. Drew Meister asks, are there any new developments with the Squad Ops partnership? As of right now, it pretty much is just an official statement saying that we'll help them and they'll help us. There is no real, I guess, substance there. It's more like a certification, I guess, of sorts. It's not really an active partnership, if you can understand what I'm saying at this point in time. We will, look to see what we can do with the partnership and what that does mean on the greater scale of things. But as of right now, it's mainly just allowing us to be, I guess, certified by Squad to be their official partner. Yeah. Thank you, Krusty. We're glad that you're happy with the current direction. Deluxe said, bad players in the server not accepting help. What about something like that? Earlier, I had a guy shoot at a lot. So bad players are just bad players are just a thing. It's going to be a thing, especially with all the sales and the free weekend. And just as time goes on, there's going to be newer players, and with that, there's going to be more and more, you know, bad behavior. And the only real way we're going to be able to combat that is through the whitelist. When we completely lock it down, it does add that barrier of entry that will prevent most new players from getting in. So you still have that kind of veteran group of players on the whitelist that don't really mess around. And the second thing is going to be active admins, which is one of the only ways we can really control the behavior of players is through active admins. And we do have enough admins at this point where I feel we have someone on it every time, which is why we are closing it down for now. But in general, yeah, the whitelist is going to be able to combat that, and active admins are really the main tool that we have against bad player behavior. Dentrick asks, do you know if they'll be adding more player to a game? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
I think he means different factions.
Other factions, that's I know they have British, the British coming. That's all I know. Puppy asks, so I'm unclear. Basic SOTT structures are considered server admins, and you have no more need for them. No. So basic SOTT instructors in general are what we are looking for. We are no longer accepting applications for basic admins or for server admins. We have enough server admins at this point in time. Are you going to need to download the mod? Yeah, depending on how OWI intends to implement mod support, will be determining how you will get the mod, whether that's through Steam Workshop or if we are able to package that so that you download it through the server. We're not really sure. I'd have to check with our mod dev team to see how OWI on their side is handling that. Any plan, FPF Duels adds, any plans to add obstacles into the mod? Yeah, so that's part of why we're creating the mod is, so first and foremost, the mod's goal is to create a hardcore environment for public play. So that's going to be removing certain assets, changing certain game balances or game direction ideas, and then also allowing and adding tools that will let us use this mod in our private events. So the mod has two facets. One is the public server side, and the second is still for our operations. So you're definitely going to see a lot of things that are in the mod that are also in the operations, and in the operations are also in the mod. So there's a lot of overlap there. Puppy Skills asked, okay, so I'm looking to get qualified, but on position openings, I only see developer and programmer kinds of openings. There should be an SOTT application there. Dentrick asks, I mean by them adding more players to the cap. I do believe OWI is planning on 100 player servers, but as of right now with the 80, it looks like they're kind of getting I guess bottlenecked, because as we see with our server health, as we hit 80 and the game runs on, the server tick kind of takes a dump. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think they're planning on 100 from OWI.
I have a question. For some reason it won't let me type on here.
Yep, go for it.
Have you guys ever thought about doing an op against another community?
Yeah, so sure, we can talk about that. Okay, so Lish is our representation team head, which is basically our outreach team. And one of the teams that we are, or one of the communities that we are looking at having, I don't know, scrims or friendly games against is Squad Frontlines. And hopefully we can get something set up against them, because I think they were interested in something against us, but there's no promises there. But yeah, it is something we're looking into, is getting into, I guess, scenarios or, kind of matches against other communities if that gets there. But for right now, our main outreach program is CCFN.
Okay,
well,
cool.
SOTT
Thanks.
team, yeah, no problem. Well, meeting asks, will SOTT make me a better SO? We do plan on having a leadership course that is planned on coming out next month, and that should help. All right. I mean, yeah, I'll let these go on for another, I guess, couple minutes here if anyone still has any questions. I see a couple people typing. Are the technical Wavis asks, are the technical openings posted on 7/31 still current? Yeah, pretty much they should be. Those haven't really changed. We've never, let me check.
Can you link it to me, Carm, while you go to it?
Yeah, it's mainly the mod dev. It's 3D artists,
Okay.
2D artists, material artists, programmers, and blueprint developers. Yeah, all that is we're still looking for a lot of mod stuff. If we can get enough of those guys, we can start putting out our own assets. But as of right now, our mod dev team is purely focused on blueprint manipulation.
I'll get that info out.
Yeah, meeting SCI got dropped on me. Think it's yeah. Dentric asks, are we ever going to use scopes such as 4X in squad ops? I don't think so. Simply because, you run for you set up for 30 minutes, you run around for 5 minutes, and then you get one tapped. It's not really a beneficial thing to have in an operation. It's not really nice, especially because it's so easy to dominate all players with an optic. That extra reach is just a little bit too much. That's why you see at most we'll ever put in vehicles with the optics. For example, the BTR or the Crows. But even then, you can really see those dominate ops. And so we're trying to kind of tweak how we can counter those and how we can balance things. But yeah, in early op days when we were running Silent Vigil like 6 months ago and we used to run with the SVD, it was very clear that the SVD was broken and you could easily take out an entire squad with just a single player. So yeah, we're pretty much going to take out the scopes for now. However, yeah, as of right now. Saloon asks, what do you know about the next patch? I have no idea. No, I think OWI is taking a break. Yeah, no, I don't know. Deluxe asks, night operations. Yeah, our current night operation, Midnight Mass, Nightmare, and Silent Vigil. So Silent Vigil is a road clearing operation at night at Logar Night. Midnight Mass is a night operation on Korra where you have to get a convoy from point A to point B. And then Nightmare is a HVT elimination or cache search and destroy mission. But yeah. Chechno asks, are going to be more optics like hollow sites? I don't know. That's pretty much on OWI side. We're not really adding any assets, like I said. PF Dulce, any plans for ops to have unbalanced team members? So we actually used to run unbalanced team member ops at the very beginning of squad ops. For example, Silent Vigil used to be a 2/3 versus 1/3 US versus INS operation. So INS was all outnumbered by quite a bit. But what we saw and what we were experiencing is that when it came time to do the side swap, it got really messy because, some players didn't get to play one side and some players, didn't want to play one side. And so it got really messy. Whereas now when we do straight up 36v36, when we do the team swap, it's a clean team swap. The entire team swaps and we move forward from there. Kawhi asks, will we ever get the ability to drag into people? That's going to be something that OWI implements. If anything, that's not really something mod dev team is looking at implementing. Once again, our mod dev team is not looking at implementing features or assets. We're looking at balance changes, removing UI elements, and making general mission changes to allow for a more hardcore experience. We're not really adding any assets or features. We're mainly just making tweaks and changes to the current game modes and to the current loadouts to allow for a more tactical and hardcore experience. Whether that be limiting fobs to only be placeable with logistics vehicles, removing rally points, so on and so forth. Yeah, are there going to be a weapons add to? Yeah, so meeting. I'm not sure. That's OW. Whether they're going to be adding weapons, I'm sure they are. They featured the IED in the recent monthly update, so that's definitely something. Master asks, are you planning on posting the different changes, features that are either planned in development or completed for the Squad Ops mod? Yeah, so that's a good idea. We might start doing dev vlogs for the Squad Ops mod, and we'll start pushing those out, I guess, maybe once a month, just like every other dev vlog. So that's definitely something that, that's a good suggestion. Let me write that down as well. Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. Yeah. We might start doing those so that you guys can kind of get a better idea of what the Squad Ops mod is going and looking like. For right now, what we have completed are a couple of gameplay changes, such as slightly slower sprint speed, removal of certain HUD elements. We actually, okay, so I was kind of lying before when I said we weren't really adding any assets. We have added a M203 flare. So you have an underbarrel flare for the US that will work on night ops. So for example, if you want illumination rounds, you just load it into the M203, you shoot it up, and the flare deploys and it lights up the area surrounding. So that is one of the only assets we're adding. And there are a couple videos of that we have featured. I guess, is Umarex here? He's not here. I'll reach out and see if we can get one of those posted in the off-topic channel or something like that. But yeah, we do have an illumination round that is pretty much ready to go, aside from a few other changes. But yeah. What's your thought on a server with smaller numbers? So naturally, our hardcore mod is going to feel like smaller numbers because you're not going to get that run and gun gaming. So I think we pretty much solved that. As well as our whitelist server is going to have smaller numbers and more tactical gameplay simply because it's less randoms. So we don't really feel the need to host a 40-man server simply because the whitelist lockdown should alleviate that, as well as the hardcore server, custom server. Once that comes out, it will feel a lot smaller because not everyone's running around getting shot. It's going to feel a lot slower and a lot smaller. But yeah. So just a thought, but Prep says, just a thought, but turning up gamma brightness for the night ops adds quite an advantage. Is there a standard level or something that should be considered for the mod? In general, we ask that everyone has it 2.2. That is the default. Of course, we can't control that. It's impossible for us to control that. Just like how it's impossible for us to control you tweaking certain things, right? Or using sweet effects. However, we will do what we can to keep a level playing ground, but we ask that, I mean, Squad Ops, as everyone in our community probably knows at this point, Squad Ops is a place for the experience, right? We're not a competitive platform. It's an experience. It's, everyone's there for the same reason, roughly, which is to have a really structured, immersive, and tactical time rather than, other competitive platforms where it's win, 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 win. And so we try to push that message both through our attitude towards the public as well as certain changes that we can make and we can control. But we do understand that there are certain things that we will not be able to force people to do. Like, for example, your monitor. You could jack your monitor brightness up all the way, but that ruins the experience. And we just hope that players that play in Squad Ops and that us as staff can kind of foster an environment where, we don't have to worry about that because everyone's on the same page of what they want out of Squad Ops. Okay, Kawhi asks, ever considered an EU server? There's a big amount of EU squad players. That's a really big thing. So we used to have an EU public server, but to be honest, the main section of Squad Ops, the main area where staff is focused, is NA based. So we don't really have the power. Well, I mean, we do kind of have the manpower at this point, but we think it's better to consolidate on an NA server and then to allow our EU players to play on the NA server, simply because, I mean, the server and the ping lag from EU to NA on our current server right now isn't really that bad. However, for operations, we do understand that's one of our major events, so we do have an EU operation server. But for our public server, since it's kind of not really our main focus, it's a side focus, I think we're only going to keep an NA public server for now. Kyla Randor asks, servers, etc., are a way we can help support costs, donations, etc. So one of the ways currently that we are supporting our costs is through the merchandise. You can get t-shirts, mugs, or sweaters. That's currently how we were doing it for the past 2 months. However, moving forward, as of right now, we're not taking any money. We're not taking any donations or anything right now until we can get everything how we want it. We want to make sure we have a full and, a proper service and a proper kind of platform that before we feel comfortable taking anyone's money as of right now. So you get the server slots on the whitelist for free right now, so long as you're registered. Public, our server slots are only for staff. But yeah, money right now it's only Squad Ops merchandise, and that's that you can get something for it. Before we take any donations, we're going to wait till we have the platform pretty much ready to go. And then we'll see what happens then. Dentric asks, will the mod be free and can other clans use it as well? We plan on keeping the Squad Ops mod pretty much exclusive to us for a while at least. That's the main plan. I don't think we're going to release it open simply because it has features that are specifically tailored to our community. It's not really going to be a cookie cutter, you install this on their server and you can play it. It's got a couple features in there that we are specifically building and we are specifically using for our operations. Yeah, Chechnya. The next basic training will be this Thursday. We have one for the EU times and the NA times. It's on the calendar. Kauai. All right, so you know what? This might be a very good time to poster. Are you here? Is poster not here? Okay. Well, I'll make the announcement now, and then we can discuss it later. Okay. So, Squad Ops subreddit. So Squad Ops has created a subreddit. It was in development for the past couple of months. We finally finished the design, the rules, and the layout for it currently. And what's going to happen is we're going to release it probably this week, and it'll be Reddit/r/Squad Ops. And basically, what we want that subreddit to be is kind of an archive of all Squad Ops media, whether that be your videos, my videos, his videos, screenshots, you know, written after action reports of like, oh my god, this is the experience I had. And so it's pretty much going to be the place for Squad Ops media. So if you ever want to see like other people's POVs, or you want to see, you know, that kind of video, or, you know, you want to see the official broadcast from it or the official VOD from it, all that media is going to be nice and neatly archived on the Squad Ops Reddit subreddit. And I think that's a great idea, simply because right now the videos get pretty lost really fast in the off topic, because off topic's moving so fast. But yeah, once we get that official subreddit, you'll get announcement. You'll be ready to post. You'll be ready to see, and that'll be the official place for all Squad Ops media from there on out. What about live streaming ops to Twitch with like a 30-second delay? Asks Deluxe. There are plans for streaming. I'm not going to go too far into it because we want to keep it a surprise, but we have really interesting things planned. We have really interesting. It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm excited. But yeah, we have cool things planned. Just sit tight for the streams. They're coming. That's all I'm going to say about it. Really, really amazing stuff. But they're coming. The streams are coming. Okay. Pokey asks, you did it earlier when you did a video from both sides on one event. Do you plan on doing it again? I'm just gonna say wait and see. That's all I'm gonna say is wait and see. There's amazing things planned, so don't worry. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So just wait. A lot of cool stuff is coming out. Okay. Anything else? Desis Master asks, any updates on repercussions for registering and then no showing? That is a very good question because it's been happening quite a bit. Barton actually has the website set up now so that we can kind of track that, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of adding some form of strike system. So you'll get striked, or, you know, the next op you register, you'll be put on the wait list instead of the full-on list. That's probably what will happen is for every op that you miss, the next op, you'll be put on the wait list first. But yeah, there's definitely going to be repercussions for registering and then not showing up. Definitely. What about legit reasons for not showing up? Yeah, so as we said, like if you, and then the next one you get put on a wait list, so long as you're not doing that consistently, the punishment's not going to hurt. Because if you just miss it once, then you're only going to have to deal with that wait list repercussion once, rather than if it's someone who's consistently missing ops, you're just always not going to be on the wait list. Does that make sense? So it'll hurt people that consistently do it, but if you only do it once, like it's just only going to happen once, and you're never going to have to deal with it again.
And it's also super simple just to unregister. Basically, you just go back to the site, and then like for every app you registered for, the registration button turns into an unregistered button. So you just click that, and boom, it's gone. And then it wouldn't like count, of course, because you unregistered.
Mm-hmm. Armic asks, is advanced weapons training still in effect? It is. It's being run on the third Thursday this month. Yeah. All right. So I'll give this maybe another 5 minutes. Or no, I'll give it another 30 seconds. If there's no questions within the next like minute or 30 seconds, we'll cut it off here.
Oh. Exactly what that means.
Yeah, so the regular recording event is Dentric asked, what is a regular recording event? Regular recording event is basically an event for the regulars where we have our content creation team basically have them act, I guess, for Machinima products or projects, I'm sorry. So whether that be our trailers, our tutorials, Machinima, anything like that, that's essentially what that is. Kawhi asked in the hardcore mod, how realistic do you aim to make it? We aim to make it not like milsim, real life, 100%, kind of deal. It's more of a just tweaking certain settings and making it feel more tactical. I guess that's the better word. It's more tactical rather than more realistic. Because the more realistic you get, the more burdened down you get by certain things. The more tactical you get, however, you don't necessarily need to stay realistic. You're just looking for a really immersive and tactical experience. So basically, it's more tactical. We want more thinking and more planning and more strategy involved, without, if you run for 5 seconds with the huge pack on, you're going to run out of breath and your aim's all fucked. No, because that just gets obnoxious. So it's more tactical than realistic, I guess, would be the proper response. Pokey asks, what about the issues at the moment with the Cowboys playing? I want a hardcore game just on a regular day, but to people just play stupid sometimes. That's just the current meta squad right now. That's just all the new players figuring it out. So that's why we're bringing Whitelist Lockdown, is because we're seeing a lot of that in the public service, and there's really nothing we can do for kicking a bad player. Like, we're not going to ban bad players because everyone was bad at some point. If they're being obnoxious, malicious, and griefing, then yeah, we'll ban them. But if they're just bad, like, they got to learn somehow. And we do offer things that can kind of alleviate, SOTT programs. But then we also are offering the Whitelist Lockdown for the players that do want sessions where they can get normal squad gameplay in, but like less chaos. And then if you want one more step further, we do offer the operations, which are completely structured and controlled. Yeah. All right. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna cut it here. Unless there's any final questions, I think we're going to be good. Yeah, so once again, I want to thank everyone, all the community members for showing up tonight and pretty much, asking questions, getting to know more about the community, sticking around and seeing what's up. Means a lot. We created this by the community for the community. I want to thank all the staff and all the managers for their help and their times and their hours, because this is 100% a free volunteer project at this point. So I'm really glad that we're able to build something so fast and so strong with the staff that we have and just kind of the structure that we have. So I'm really glad that, this has been a wild year. It's been pretty wild year. I mean, creating everything from scratch and from nothing. And, 2017 is going to be pretty much just as strong, if not stronger, now that we have the foundation down. We can really start pushing our limits and really start expanding and, doing really, really crazy things. So we hope that you stick around for 2017. Once again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for your time and for your volunteer work and for your, just everything, support. And we'll see you over the next year. And we hope that, you still come to us for suggestions and, anything that you have problems with, or, just general communication is very important within this kind of community. So we have these kind of events, these kind of community meetings once every month to kind of allow us to communicate to you and allow you to communicate to us. So we're glad that we had this opportunity. And we'll catch you guys over the next year. Also, the whole month for the calendar is up. So register. Don't crash the site, but register.
Okay, yeah.
It shouldn't crash anymore. It shouldn't crash.